आकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम् मालती अभ्यासवर्गे सर्वेषां स्वागतम् अद्य एकनिमिषम् मम चित्रं दृश्यते वा? अस्तु अद्य शत्रुशानजन्तस्य सतिसप्तम्याः च भेदाः पश्यामः. The difference between शत्रुशानच् and सतिसप्तमी. सुकन्या भगिन्याः अन्तिमगृहकार्यं कर्तुं यतमानेभ्यः छात्रेभ्यः एषः पाठः बहु उपयोगं भविष्यति इति अहं मन्ये. So we will have a look at this one and then we will discuss a few things that were given by Sukanya Bhagini in her last homework. Okay. Right. So Shatru Shanach, Karmani Shanach and Sati Saptami or Sat Saptami, both are correct. So all these are Kridanta forms. By Kridanta forms, what we mean is they are noun forms. They are not the actual Kriya Padam. Kriya Padam is always a Tinganta form is a Kriya Padam that declines as in the Lakara Rupams. That is the Kriya Padam. All these are Kridanta forms which are noun forms. So they will take like Rama Shabda, like Akaranta, Ikaranta. They will have the noun declensions but not the Lakara Rupams. So the difference between each of them. Obviously, we know Shatru Pratyaya will be used only if it is a Parasmaipadi Dhatu. Shanach Pratyaya can be used if it is an Atmanepadi Dhatu. This will not go, Shatru will always go with Parasmaipadi, Shanach has to always go with Atmanepadi Dhatu. If it is a Karmani Shanach, obviously, Parasmaipadi Dhatu will also have a Karmani Rupam. Atmanepadi Dhatu will also have a Karmani Rupam. So, Parasmaipadi, Atmanepadi cha Datavaha Karmani Shanach Pratyayah Swikurvanti. Next, Sat Saptami or Sati Saptami. So, this is a special form of Kridanta. And this is not, I don't know if it is even a Kridanta form. It is a Saptami Rupam of a Kridanta form. Okay. So, this will also have Parasmaipadi Dhatus and Atmanepadi Dhatus that can take these Sati Saptami forms. This is rule number 1. The next very important differentiating factor between these are Sati Saptami will always use different kartas. The doer of the action or the dependent factor of the action will always be different. If you take a sentence that has got 2 different Kriya Pade, if there are 2 different action verbs or action happening in a sentence, then the person doing that action will be different. Then we have to use Sati Saptami. If the same person is doing 2 actions, then we can use any of these, Shatru Shanach, Karmani Shanach, based on the Prayoga and based on the Dhatu you are using. Okay, we will see a lot of examples below, but I am just telling the rules for now. So, Kriyayaha Karta Samanam Bhavati, Atra Binna Karta Bhavati. By Karta, it is not necessarily a Kartrupadam, but the main cause of that action will be different. Sarvasu Vibhaktishu, the Shatru Shanach, Karmani Shanach will decline. Because we have seen this. It will be in Prathama, all Vibhakti, 7 Vibhaktis, it can happen. But the Sati Saptami will always be only in Saptami Vibhakti. That is one more difference. Next one is The pratyaya that is being used is Shatru pratyaya here, Shanach pratyaya here, Shanach pratyaya again here. But for Sati Saptami, we can use Shatru, Shanach, Karmani Shanach, Kartarikta, Karmanita, Tavatu pratyaya. All these can be used to create a Sati Saptami sentence. For these also, we will see some examples. Then we will understand things better. The next one is, in Shatru Shanach, Karmani Shanach, we have to understand that there will be two actions in a Vakyam. One of them would have started but not ended. One of them is in progress. In Angla Bhashayam, continuous tense iti vadamaha kalu. So something is, an ongoing action is there. So that is what will be changed into Shatru Pratyaya in Sanskritam. In Sati Saptami, there will be two actions, but the purpose of the two actions is one action will indicate the time of the other action. That is the only purpose of creating a Sati Saptami. For example, if we ask, when did you study today? You can say, I studied in the morning, pratakale patami, or I can say, saptavadane patami. Directly you can say a time, sakshat, or you can say pratakale, madhyane iti. The third way to say a time is, when my son came home, I started studying. I was studying. You can even say a different action and say, at that time, when that action was happening, I was doing this action. That is also a way of saying. So, to indicate the time of an action, we will use Sati Saptami. So,
Vagini, Eka Nimsham, the thing above this where you highlighted, can you say that again?
Okay. When we create a Shatru sentence, we will say Patan. Iti Shatru pratyaya, At pratyaya we will be adding, and Patat iti Pratipadikam bhavati, we will say Shatru. Shanach also we will do the similar one to create Patam, Manaha, Anaha iti, we will add and then we will create. To create a Sati Saptami, we can use any of these forms. We can take a Patan iti Shatru pratyaya Rupam, Patan iti padam swikritya tasya Sati Saptami Rupam kurmaha. We will change it into Saptami form and then we will create this Sati Saptami. So a Sati Saptami sentence can use any of these pratyayas to get the result, to make a sentence. So that's what I'm saying, yeah. Okay, here action is in progress. This one action indicates the time of the other action. So they call it Nyapya Nyapaka Kriya Bhavaha, which means the Nyapaka Kriya is the one that is an indicator. That is what indicates the time of the actual action. So this is called the Nyapaka Kriya, and the other one is called Nyapya Kriya, which we will, I will, it is there in one of the books. I will give you where it is later. Shatru Shanach, Karmani Shanach, all these are Kridanta Rupam. So they will naturally be a Visheshana form. They will be a Visheshanam to the Karta or whatever. Whatever we are using, they will act as a Visheshanam. Here also there is a Visheshana Rupam, but it will be in Saptami Vibhakti. Okay? Here, because it is Visheshanam, it takes a Linga Vachanam and Vibhakti of the Visheshyam, but here it will always be in Saptami Vibhakti. So these are the differentiating factors between Shatru Shanach and Sati Saptami. Now, I'm going to show some examples to indicate, let's understand how these things work. As the teacher taught, he wrote on the blackboard. Ekanamisham, before we go into examples, I have something more to say. Okay. Every time we see a new sentence, let's follow some rules, okay? Always it is context based. We have to understand the meaning before we can even get to which prayoga we are going to use. Okay, if it is a Samskrita sentence, you have to still translate it in your mind and then try to understand what is being said there. Whether it's a Kartari prayoga, Karmani prayoga, what kind of pratyaya is being used. Everything is based on the context or meaning. That is the first thing. Second, try to understand how many actions are taking place in a sentence. If our question is going to be try to use Shatru Shanach or Sati Saptami in your sentence, and there is a big sentence given, like the one in here, as the teacher taught, he wrote on the blackboard. There are two actions that are taking place. One is the teacher teacher's teaching action. The second one is the writing action on the blackboard. There are two actions taking place in the sentence. As soon as you realize there are two actions, try to justify what is the karta or the doer or the they call it ashraya, the one that is a cause of this action. Try to understand that. Usually, if it is a kartari sentence, the direct kartrupadam will be the cause of that, the doer of that action. But if it is a karmani sentence, it is not the karta that is the ashraya of the sentence. It is the karma padam, because it is a karmani sentence. For example, sikshakena pataha patyate ityukte, patyate verb is related to the pataha and not to the sikshaka, obviously, because it takes the vachana and the lingam of the pata shabda, karma padam, and not the kartrupadam. So try to understand what is the main cause of that action. Here, the teaching action, the taught word, the teaching action is done by the teacher. Okay, and the writing of action is also done by the teacher. Okay, as soon as you realize there are two actions and the doer of both the actions is the same person, it is not Sati Saptami. You have to use, if the action, one of them is in continuous tense.
I didn't take it that the teacher wrote on the blackboard. It didn't occur to me. I thought somebody else is writing.
No. As a teacher taught, he wrote on the blackboard. I would have mentioned someone else if it is a different person. Okay, I'm trying to say both the actions are done by the teacher. As he was teaching, instead of saying, because the problem with writing it in English is verbatim, if we translate into Sanskritam, we will have a lot of issues. What I actually meant was the teacher was writing and teaching at the same time.
Got it.
This is the meaning of the sentence. So it is the same person who is doing both the actions. So it is you can use Shatru or Shanach based on the sentence prayoga and dhatu. Here I'm going to use the dhatu. I have translated it as below. Sikshakaha patayan Krishna palake likhitavan. Patayan is patayati patayan, because this is a teaching. Patati ityukte I am reading. Patayati ityukte I am teaching. So patayan is a Shatru form of the pat nijanta rupam. Pat nijanta rupam patayan iti Shatru form bhavati. Sikshakaha patayan Krishna palake likitavan. So we are using a Shatru form. If I had taken a different dhatu, maybe an Atmanepadi dhatu, then I should have used a Shanach pratyaya here. If it is an Atmanepadi dhatu, I've just picked the easy one to start with. So, is this clear, Bhagini? So far, yes. Okay, the next sentence. Okay, the next one I was going to say is, so this Shatru form is a Kridanta form or the noun form. So it is a Visheshana Rupam, as we saw earlier. So because it is a Visheshanam, it will take the Linga Vachana and Vibhakti of its Visheshyam. The Patayan acts as a Visheshanam to the Sikshakaha. So Sikshakaha is in Pratama Vibhakti Ekavachanam Pullinga Padam. Ataha Patayan is also in Pratama Vibhakti Ekavachanam Pullinga Shabdaha. Avagachati va? If it is otherwise, maybe if I had said as the teachers taught, then Sikshakaha Patayantaha. Patayan Patayantau Patayantaha. Sikshakaha Patayantaha Krishna Palake Likitavantaha. The teachers were writing, while they were teaching, they were writing on the board.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. Not necessarily every time we will see this word while or ing in a sentence to indicate the same time of the action. Okay, it can be worded any way we want. Based on the context, we need to understand if it is something that is currently happening, if it is in progress action. The next one, while the mother is, while the mother is waking up, the baby laughs. So as she was waking up, the baby laughs. Matari shabdam matru shabdasya saptami vibhakti rupam. Okay, no. Let's break it down. Okay, so how many actions are there in this one? The waking up action. The other one is a laughing action. The waking up action is done by whom?
Amma, mother.
Mata. The laughing action is done by
Shishu.
Shishuhu. So the karta of the two different action is completely two different person as against this sentence. This sentence, both actions are done by one person. Here it is done by two different person. As soon as you see this two different person acting for two different verb, we need to understand the context here. What we are trying to say here, when did the baby laugh? The baby laughed when the mother was waking up. To indicate the time of this laughing action, we are saying that action took place when the mother woke up. So this is indicating a time, and this is two different action done by two different people. So this will be now using Sati Saptami Rupam.
Yeah, Uma Mahoday said Sati Saptami sentences are always yada tada.
Yes,
So,
yes. The easy way to understand it, to break it down is Yada Shishuhu Yada Mata Uttishtati Tada Shishuhu Hasati. So first we need to take this Yada Tada Rupam to understand that when this thing is happening, the other action is happening. And it is done by two different person. So this is Sati Saptami Rupam. So the action that is an indicator is called the Nyapaka Kriya. It is an indicator, indicating action. So the Nyapaka Kriya sentence will be in Saptami Rupam.
oh.
Okay. The actual verb, the actual core of the sentence is the baby laughing, not the mother waking up. We are only talking about the baby laughing. When did the baby laugh? When the mother woke up. If you try to do an Anvaya, you will start with the laughing. Hasati. Kaha hasati? Shishuhu hasati. Kada shishuhu hasati? Mata uttishtati. Okay, not necessarily in Saptami. Yada mata uttishtati, tada shishuhu hasati. So we are only talking about the baby laughing, which is the pratana saramsam of this sentence. So this is the Nyapaka Kriya. The Nyapaka Kriya is the one that is an indicator. This has to be in Sati Saptami Rupam because it is a different karta and different kriya. Okay, now how will we put this in Sati Saptami Rupam? There are a few rules there. Okay, the waking up action can be in any of these Kridanta forms. The Uttishta, based on the context of the sentence. Here I have said the mother is waking up in Lat Lakara. So Uttishtati. So the Shatru form will be Uttishtanti. Iti Pratama Vibhaktyam Bhavati. Uttishtanti. In Sati Saptami, we have to change it into the Saptami form. So Uttishtanti Shabdasya seventh Vibhakti will be Uttishtantyam. Okay, I have picked up the Shatru Pratyaya Rupam and then changed it into seventh Vibhakti to indicate the Sati Saptami form of this word. I could have picked up Shanach Pratyayasya Saptami Rupam, Karmani Shanach Pratyayasya Saptami Rupam, Kartari Ta Pratyayasya Saptami Rupam, or Karmani Ta or Tavatu Pratyayasya Saptami Rupam. I could have done anything, I could have used any of these Kridanta Rupams and picked up the seventh form for Sati Saptami based on the context. Okay. So here I have picked up Shatru. That is to note the Kriya. Now, what is the Ashraya of this Kriya? Which means what is the main factor that this Kriya is dependent upon? It can be the Karta. There are two different factors. It can be the Karta for a Kartri Vakyam. It can be the Karma Padam for a Karmani Vakyam. When the mother is waking up, is a Kartri Vibhakti form. Kartri Prayogaha form. So, the person that is causing this action is the mother. That is called Ashraya. That word also has to be in Saptami form. That is rule number 2 for Sati Saptami. This word, the Kriya form can take any of the Pratyayas and you have to use the 7th Vibhakti. For the Karta, you have to put it in the 7th Vibhakti. So, Mata Shabdasya 7th Vibhakti form is Matari. Uttishtantyam is Uttishtanti iti Shatru Pratyayanta Padasya 7th Vibhakti. So, Matari Uttishtantyam. This Satyam is an optional one. Even if you don't write it, it doesn't change the meaning of it and it is not wrong. Okay. The Satyam, this Sati, Sat Padasya, Sat Pratipadikasya, 7th Vibhakti. Again, that is dependent upon Stop sharing. If I share everything.
Askalu.
Ekanimisham Bhagini. Sat. Sat is nothing but another paryaya padam for as dhatu. Asti. Can also be said as sat. It is just a synonym of as dhatu. Asti iti. The three different rupani of sat dhatu is, for pullingam it is sat pratipadikam. For napumsakalingam also it is sat pratipadikam, and for strilingam it is sati. Okay, because it is sati, it is not just like this nadi shabdah, sati, satyau, satyah. So the seventh form of this sati shabdah is satyam. Okay, and for the pullinga napumsakalingam it is like a bhavan shabdah iva san. So bhavati iti saptami vibhaktiyam bhavati kalu. So this is sati. Or in napumsakalingam this is like the jagat shabdah. There also it is the same form, there is no change, sati eva. Now why am I showing this? Why are we, if we are going to use the word sati there to properly indicate it is a sati saptami vakyam, then this is also a visheshana padam. So it has to go with the matari shabdam. If matari is in 7th vibhakti, saptami vibhakti ekavachanam, the satyam also has to be in saptami vibhakti ekavachanam of the same lingam, because matari is 3 lingam, sati shabdasya 7th vibhakti ekavachanam is satyam. So these are the 3 things that we have to do to create a sati saptami vakyam. I can show one, maybe if I had changed it into a karmani rupam. Okay, we will see a karmani later. It's a little bit more confusing. We will see that later. For now, did you understand this statement? Both. Is it fine? Yeah. Matari uttishtantyam satyam shishuhu hasati. So this action, the nyapaka kriya is indicating this nyapya kriya. Okay. The next sentence. When the brother was playing, his little sister clapped her hands. First, how many actions are there? Clapping action is there. Playing action is there. 2 actions. Playing action is done by the brother. Clapping action is done by the sister. So 2 kriya and done by 2 different persons. The entire sentence is in kartari. So the ashraya of this playing is the brother, because it is a kartari vakyam, and the ashraya of this clapping action is the sister. 2 different person, 2 different kriya. Yada brother, when the brother was yada brata kridati tada anuja karatadanam kritavati. So yada tada you are forming it. So the next step is, this is obviously a sati saptami vakyam. This is the nyapaka kriya, which is an indicator of this second part of the statement. So the nyapaka kriya has to go over all the sati saptami rules to be formed. The action word can be in any of the pratyaya. Here I have taken kridan, punaha I have taken shatru rupam. Kridan padasya brata kridan asti. Anuja karatadanam kritavati or akarot. Brata kridan asti. Iti shatru rupam. Shatru rupasya 7th vibhakti form is kridati, bhavati. Bhavan shabdasya 7th rupam iva. Bratari kridati. And the sat shabdam again has to be in pullinga, saptami vibhakti ekavachanam, sati. Bratari kridati sati, tasya anuja karatadanam kritavati. Is this clear? Yeah.
There's a typo there, right? Bratari it should be, right?
Oh, Kshamitam. Yes. Then I would have copy pasted this one's. Bratari. Yeah, you're right. Now, because it is past tense, okay, the bhava of this sentence is in past tense. No. If the bhava of the sentence is in past tense, it can be using any of the tavatu. You can use any pratyaya basically based on the context. Suppose if I had said, as the brother played, the sister clapped her hands. This one is, so the indication is the tense of the sentence is in past, bhutakalam suchayati. So you can use the tavatu, any pratyaya. So here for tavatu, bratari kriditavan. यदा भ्राता क्रीडितवान् तदा तस्य अनुजा करताडनं कृतवती. So the क्रीडितवान्, again it is like भवान् शब्दः. क्रीडितवान् शब्दस्य सप्तमी विभक्ति एकवचनं क्रीडितवती. Please note the ti is a hraswati. Unlike if it is a dirghati, then it will indicate strilinga, kriditavati, tavatu form. This is kriditavati. Bratari kriditavati sati, tasya anuja karatadanam akarot. But if you have to use the ta pratyaya, naturally it has to follow the rules. The ta pratyaya cannot be used in kartari unless it is an akarmaka dhatu or gatyartaka dhatu. We know these rules. These are we know these rules, basic rules before. So if I have to use a ta pratyaya, then I have to change the prayoga of the sentence. Did I write this? Ekanimisham. This is not updated. Ekanimisham.
What did you say? Akarmaka and
so the ta pratyaya cannot be used for a kartari vakyam. Okay, if it is a ta pratyaya, then where are we?
If it is a
Gatyartaka or akarmaka, it can be used.
Used in ta pratyaya. Kshamita, I'm saying, yeah. Gatyartaka or akarmaka dhatu only can be used in ta form in a kartari prayoga. Else you have to use it in a karmani vakyam only.
Yeah.
So what I have done here is I have changed it into a karmani vakyam. Bratra. Okay, I have written here as the chess game. Okay, chess. Okay, when chess was played by the brother, his sister clapped her hands. Okay, so the chess action being played by the brother is in karmani. As soon as you see karmani, the one thing that you have to, extra thing that you have to remember is, what is the ashraya of this playing action now? What is the pradhana suchika of this action? It is not the brother, because it is a karmani action. The playing action goes with the chess word, not or the krida, not necessarily with the bratu shabdah. Because it is karmani, whatever is the linga, vachana and vibhakti form of the chess will go with the playing action and not by the karta word. Do you remember this rule? This is the basic rule of karmani vakyam. Okay, so if I say bratra chaduranga kridayam, okay, we will break it down. Bratra chaduranga krida kridita. This is one sentence.
Bratra chaturanga krida kridita.
Okay, yada tada. Okay, let's go with that. Yada bratra chaduranga krida kridita. This is in karmani. Bratra is tritiya vibhakti. Chaturanga krida is pratama vibhakti. Kridita, because it is a strilinga padam. Kriditah kridita kriditam iti ta pratyayasya strilinga pratama vibhakti ekavachana roopam. Bhagini Swapna, do you understand this thing? Yeah. Yada bratra chaduranga krida kridita tada, this one tasya anuja, this can be in kartari, that doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, so now this yada tada is the kridita action goes with which word here? Bratra or chaduranga krida?
Chaturanga krida.
Because whatever be the vachanam of lingam, vachanam and vibhakti is of this karma padam will reflect on this word, this kridanta roopam. So this is the ashraya of this kriya, of this kridanta roopam. So as per Sati Saptami rule, we have to bring it to the 7th vibhakti form of both the kridanta form and the ashraya shabdah, or the main factor that is causing it. So it has to be bratra chaduranga kridayam, because it is ta pratyaya. I'm using the like Lata Shabdah. Krida Kridayam. Kridayam. What did I do? Chaduranga. Yeah, Chaduranga Kridayam Kriditayam Satyam Tasya Anuja Karatadanam Akarod. See if you understand this. This Kridita is Ta Pratyaya. So that is also gone into Saptami Vibhakti Ekavachanam. The Krida Shabdah, Chaturanga Krida Shabdah is also going into Saptami Vibhakti Ekavachana form. These are the two words that will go into Saptami, and the other words in that sentence will stay as is. Okay. And again, Sati, iti, this is optional word, but Sati Shabdam also has to take the Lingavachana and Vibhakti form of the Chaduranga Krida. Because it is a Visheshanam to the Chaturanga Krida, so it has to be Satyam. Okay. Suppose had this sentence been, again I'm using this typo all over. Suppose I had said, when the brothers were, yeah. So suppose had I said, when the brothers were playing, their little sister clapped her hands. So this the Nyapaka Kriya is now using a plural form. So your Sati Saptami also will use a plural form. Bhratrushu Kridatsu Satsu Tesham Anuja Karatadanam Akarot. All the three words. The Bhrat Shabdam is now the doer of the action. So that will be in Saptami Bahuvachanam. Kridatsu is the action word, that will be in Saptami Bahuvachanam. So naturally Sati Sabdam also should be in 7th Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. Is it clear now? Yeah. Sorry, am I boring you or is it okay?
No. I just got a thought that this Sati Saptami sentence formation is so so it's very matured way of talking.
Good one.
It is very tricky, Bhagini, but it is very, very beautiful aspect of Sanskritam, which we don't see in other languages. So if we try to mentally think of your Matru Bhashayam, if you try to think of a sentence and try to change it, it is hard. That is why the easiest way is Yada Tada, then you understand that it is Sati Saptami. But if you literally...
It sounds so good as like, oh my God, will I ever have this capacity?
But if you literally try to translate this, Bhratra Chaturanga Kridayam, Kriditayam, Satyam, if you cannot verbatim translate it at all. It will not make any sense. So it has to be understood that when that action is taking place, this is happening. Yada Tada. That is how we have to come into this formation. Okay, we cannot translate it like that and understand it.
Any reference for that, the Karbani thing? Is it available in any book?
It is there, Bhagini. I will that we actually did it without realizing what we were doing. But anyway,
because while it is there teaching, we were not introduced to this concept. We never asked a question also on that.
Yes, we never asked a question. I still have some question. It is there in Gita Pravesha. They have clearly written what is Ashraya and how these things are.
And are there any examples with Karmani also? Karmani.
We have lot of examples, Bhagini, because they have said that they are using a word called Ashraya or the dependency upon, the main factor causing that action. They are saying it can be two. It can be the direct Karta or the Karma Padam. For Karta, they are saying it is a Kartari Vakyam that will always make use of the Karta and then decide the verb. But if you are going to talk about a Karma Padam being an Ashraya, it has to be Karmani Vakyam. Because only in Karmani Vakyams, the Karma Padam decides the Vibhakti, Vachana or whatever be the state of the Kriya Padam. So, for these two different things, they are saying two different ways we can change it to Sati Saptami. Okay. We will see. I have picked up all those some examples here. So, we will see how we can translate it. Shall we take turns and then translate? By the way, are we running out of time? No, we have got half an hour to go. Yeah, Akila Bhagini, Bhavati Karotu Bhagini.
While the teacher teaches, the student asks a question as she was raising her hand.
Okay. First, wait. I deliberately took that sentence. A little bit complicated to start with. Decide how many actions are there in this. Then we can wait. All these sentences below are not only in Sati Saptami. It can be in Shanach, or it can be in Shatra or Karmani,
Combination of
whatever.
everything, it seems.
Yes, that is how we can differentiate and find out what kind of a sentence it is. Now,
There
what
are
kind?
three
How
kriyas:
3 kriyas: teaching, action.
teaching, asking, and raising.
Super. So let's find out the karta of everything.
So
Teaching
teaching
action
is
done by
teacher.
okay.
Asking a question is done by asking, and raising is done by the student.
Both actions done by the same karta. So what do you think? Is
So
this
the
going to be a
second
Sati
part will have
Saptami?
Shatru or Shanach, with, and that part will go with the Sati Saptami with the first part.
Okay, because the highlighted part is the main core of the sentence that we are talking about. When did this thing happen? When the teacher was teaching. So this highlighted part now is the Nyapaka Kriya, which is a time indicator of the second part of the sentence. So to indicate a time, we will always use Yada Tada or Sati Saptami. Okay. The highlighted has rest of them can use Shatru or Shanach because two actions are taking place at the same time and one is in progress. Raising Niti continuous Madhyati. Now
I will
translate.
first go with the second part. The student asks a question as she was raising her hand. Chatraha hastam unnayan prashnam pritchati.
पुनः वदतु भगिनि.
छात्रः हस्तम् उन्नयन् उन्नयन्ती छात्रा हस्त्रम् उन्नयन्ती प्रश्नं पृच्छति. So this part will go with
So what did you say? Chatra
hastam unnayanti prashnam pruchati.
Would it be hastam is that Napunsakalinga word? Can't hear you, Lavanya Bhagini.
Hastaha.
I have.
Then you said hastam is Dvitiya Vibhakti, right?
Yes. What? Kim
Then
unnayanti? This will be in Karmani. It will be in
theme, right? Then it will be theme, right?
Wait. One at a time. Okay. Chatra prashnam pruchati. Okay. Kidrishi chatra unnayanti chatra. Kim unnayanti? Hastam unnayanti. Or not Kim. Kam unnayanti. Hastam unnayanti. Because this is hasta shabda is pullinga. Dvitiya vibhakti ekavachane. Kam unnayanti. Hastam unnayanti chatra. Prashnam pruchati. Is this part clear, Bhagini?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, now the first part, Sati Saptami Rupam.
So I'll go first with Yata Tata and then try. Yata Adhyapaka.
Bhagini, not Yata, Yada.
Yada, sorry. Yada Adhyapakaha Patayati Tada Chatra Hastam Unnayanti Prashnam Pruchati. So Adhyapake.
What pratyaya are you picking for this Patayati?
Shatru.
Okay.
Adhyapake Patayati. Patayati kalu? Patayanto patayantaha. So Patayati. Adhyapake Patayati Harsvaha. Chatra Hastam Unnayanti Prashnam Pruchati.
Uttamam. So let's go there and bold it. I have used the word Sikshakaha, but it can be Adhyapakaha. That's okay. So Sikshake Patayati. This Patayati Shabdaha. Vivaranam of this is we are using Shatru.
Patayan.
Shatru Shabda, which is Patayan. Okay. And then seventh Vibhakti. Saptami Ekavachanam. 7-1. Okay. Sati is an optional word, but if you are using, it has to be in the same Linga Vachana Vibhakti Rupam. So Sati Pullinga, because it is Sikshakasya Visheshanam, so Sati iti bhavati. Pullinge Saptami Vibhaktyam Ekavachane. Sikshake Patayati Sati Hastam Unnayanti Chatra Prashnam Pruchati. Sorry, I deliberately took 3 Kriya sentence, but that is how we have to understand and break it down. That is what I'm trying to say. Swapna Bagni, Bhavati Karoto.
The rich man was giving food to the poor men who were bearing difficulties.
I can help you with for bearing difficulties. You can use sah dhatu.
Sahyate.
Sahate iti atmanepadi sah dhatu. You can use that.
The rich man was giving food to the poor men.
Try to decide how many actions are there first.
Giving food. Giving is one action.
Yes,
and
good.
Bearing difficulties another action, right?
Good. So decide the karta or the cause of these two actions.
Say that again.
What is the cause of these two actions? If it is two different cause, then it is obviously Sati Saptami. If it is not, then you can use Shatra or Shanach.
So there's no the rich man was giving food to the poor man.
Bagini,
there's no cause.
By saying cause, I was trying to say the doer of the action.
No, I got it. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Giving food is done by rich man. Bearing difficulties is done by the poor man. Two different karta doing two different action.
Correct.
So it is obviously a nyapya nyapaka kriya bhava, which
but
means
it's not necessarily Sati Saptami here. It can be like towards the poor man who is bearing difficulties, no?
Okay.
It's not like Yata Tata.
Wait. It is my not rewording it. While the rich man was giving.
Yeah, because now yes. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Now yes. Yeah. While the rich man was giving food to the poor man.
No.
Two does not come, Bagini. Two should not come.
Wait.
While the rich man was giving food, the poor man were bearing difficulties.
Okay. Yeah. This was, you're right. It is not Sati Saptami. I don't know why I tried to make it Sati Saptami. Yeah. Okay, that was the motive of the sentence. It is not Sati Saptami because one action is not indicating the time of the other action. Even though there are two kartas doing two different action, immediately we shouldn't think it is Sati Saptami. Because Sati Saptami's whole point is one action will indicate the time of the other action. Here, the rich man giving the food is not indicating when this difficulty was borne by the poor. That is not what we are talking about.
Right.
Okay, now you try to translate, Bagini. Within 1 minute, I got confused. Purpose of what I did was I forgot all that. Go ahead.
The rich man was giving food to the poor men who were bearing difficulties. Try
to the second part first. Make it easy. Then you go into the first part.
So, poor men are what? Daridra?
Daridraha, but here I have used akinchanaha. I somehow like that word, so I used it.
Oh, okay.
Wait. I will just say something about this as well. Akinchanaha. That means kinchana, kinchit. Kinchit means little. Akinchanaha means a person not even having little bit.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, okay.
This word comes in the Kanakadara Slokam, Akinchananam Paramam. I forgot the Slokam, but we will be talking about poor man. The Kanakadara Slokam is for the poor, right? So, Akinchanaha is a word which means Yaha Kinchitapi na not having prapnoti. Yeah? So one who doesn't even have a little bit is Akinchanaha. Yes, Bagini, that is why I took that word. Bagini, don't talk about the context which none of us will understand. Don't worry. I was going through Samasa, by the way, and I really like this word. I found this word and I really noted it down because it is a Bahuvrihi Samasa.
Very nice.
Don't worry. We will see this in the next
I like to hear when you all talk in other. It's very nice to hear.
Don't say like that. You will slowly start understanding it.
No, it's nice to hear. Really, it is. I'm not joking. It feels so good that my classmates are so smart.
Don't worry. I will share everything that I understand.
You don't know how much I boast about my classmates to other people. So,
Anyway, so
okay,
Daridraha
Akinchana.
is a normal word that we use, but Akinchanaha is also a word to indicate poor.
Okay, so Akinchanaha va po poor men.
Am,
Akinchanaha.
am.
Akinchanaha.
Mm. Mm.
Kashtani, yeah. I'm
Kashtani.
just getting the words here. I'm not even.
You're right. Yes, Kashtani.
Bearing.
Sahidatu.
Oh, so it has to be sahyate, right? No, sahyante. No,
Wait. So what are we trying? Sahidatu is in what dhatu is it? Parasmaipadi or Atmanepadi?
Atmane you said, right?
Okay, so what is the pratyaya we have to use?
Pratyaya. Okay, so ta.
No. I mean, which form of one of this you have to pick now? Obviously, we decided it is not Sati. Shanach. Okay, because it is Atmanepadi.
Oh,
So what is the Shanach Rupam of Sahidatu? Because bearing iti continuous tense madhye asti kalu. Atha Sahidatoho Shanajanta Rupam kim?
Sahamana va?
Sahamanaha. But
Sahamana.
if it has to be, yeah, Kashtani, okay. Akinchanaha Kashtani Sahamanaha. Sahamanaha Santi. The Santi need not be said. Sahamanaha, if we end it there, that is also indicates
So
Santi.
Sahamana goes with Akinchanava. Okay.
Because Sahamana is a Kridanta form, like we saw here, here, Visheshana form, and this is in Kartari sentence, so it will naturally go with the Karta, who's the Akinchanaha. So Akinchanaha Sahamana, Kashtani Sahamanaha Akinchanaha.
Sahamana, okay.
So that is the second part. Now go to the rich man giving food.
Dhanikaha.
Annam.
Okay, annam. Dadatiya.
Dadati is gives. Iti latlakare.
Oh,
Here.
Giving. I have to do giving. So I have to do shatra here.
Uttamam. Because you are using the da dhatu, which is a parasmaipadi dhatu. You are picking shatra. Okay, go ahead. Say.
So dadan, right, is the word. Is that
think.
No, dadati. So that I
Da dhatu is a special form. So dadati, dadataha, dadati, dadataha, dadati. Iti rupam bhavati. So the numu nakaraha na nasti kalu bahuvachane. So in Shatru form also nakaraha won't be there. So dadat shabdaha.
Okay, dadat. Dhanikaha.
Do you remember that Bhagini? That rule? Vibhyat dadat iti.
Annam dadatta.
Annam dadat is the first part of the sentence. But now how are you going to join this?
So annam dadat then becomes napunsakalinge, right?
No. Dadat pullinga and napumsakalinge both samana rupam.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, but here annam is napumsaka, so dadat is napumsaka.
No, this is kartari vakyam kalu. Shatru rupam kartari. So it goes with
okay.
Dhanikaha annam dadat.
Yeah.
Okay. Or dadat asit, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
But how will you join the sentence now?
Okay. To the.
Uttamam.
So chaturthi.
Uttamam. Okay, Dhanikaha annam dadat. To whom?
Oh, to Akinchana. So Akinchana. No. Just a minute. Ramaya.
Ramaya. Ramabhyam.
Ramabhyah.
Ramebhyah.
Sorry, Ramebhyah. Maalatee-2 Ramebhyah.
So,
So akinchanebyah.
Uttamam.
Akinchanebyah kashtani sahamanebhyah va.
Uttamam. You got it. Nebhyah. Kashtani sahamanebyah akinchanebyah dhanikah annam dadat. Tadat asit or asti, whatever.
So should we put this dhanikah in the front and these guys in the back?
We can do that as well. Dhanikah, you can do this way also. Kashtani sahamanebhyah akinchanebyah dhanikah annam dadat. Or we can say, or you can you can go in either way, Bhagini. But the sentence is this. Uttamam. Was it good? You got it right. Akila Bhagini, do you want to try?
Would it
Next
be
one.
like this, Bhagini? Dhanikah kashtani sahamanebhyah akinchanebyah annam dadat.
That is also fine. It is not going to change the meaning.
I know it won't, but it kind of in my brain.
Anyway, the one way we have to one thing that we have to understand is this is one group within the sentence. The rest is all a different part. Okay, so that if you understand this grouping within a sentence, then everything will fall in place.
Right, okay. Right. Yeah. I just wanted to do the
no. You're fine. You're fine. Yes, you're right. Next, Akila Bhagini.
As the teacher,
we are trying to understand the different Shatru, Shanach and Sati Saptami forms and trying to understand if this sentence, whatever group it falls.
Which consolidates everything.
It consolidates everything.
As the teacher teaches, the students write the lesson. So teacher teaches ekam kriya, writing is another kriya. So done by two different persons. So and one indicates the other action.
One indicates the other. When did the student write the lesson? When the teacher was teaching, or as the teacher teaches, the other person is writing the lesson. So this is a Nyapya Nyapaka Kriya Bhavaha. So this bit, which is an indicator or the Nyapaka Kriya, has to be in Sati Saptami form. Is this clear?
So as the teacher teaches, Sikshake Patayati, Chatraha Patam.
Can you use a female teacher?
Sikshikayam Patayantyam Satyam Chatraha Patam Likanti.
If I change it like this.
Where writing? Chatraha Patayantaha Santi.
No. I didn't change the Patayam part, writing part.
Likit. Likantaha. Chatraha Patam Likantaha Santi.
Okay. Samek Bhagini. Or Shikshikayam Patayantyam Satyam Chatraha Likantaha Santi.
Okay. So if it is right, then it is Likanti Evakalu.
Kim Bhagini?
If it is simply right,
Likati.
It will be Likanti.
Only if it is because it is writing in continuous tense, then we have to use again a Shatru or Shanach depending on the context.
But why did you have to use a word there? Meaning, wasn't it clear enough? Students writing the lesson?
No, initially did I not write the students
okay.
write
English,
the lesson, it is Latlakare. I wrote write the lesson, so that was a simple Latlakara. So she said Chatraha Likanti, which was a simple Latlakara. I wanted her to use a Kridanta form again here. So I changed it to where writing. So she used a Shatru form now. Likanti, Likantyau, Likantyaha. Or Likan, Likantau, Likantaha in Pullinge.
Okay.
Bhagini,
okay. Yeah,
You
but
understand?
she used idu dane. She used
She,
Shatru
when I
dane, likhanti, when she said likhanti.
no, when I said the right, simply right, she said
Likanti.
likanti, which is a latlakara,
Oh, she used this. Okay.
which is a latlakara bahuvachana roopam.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, but when I changed it to where writing, she picked the Shatru form of the Pullinga Rupam and then Bahuvachana.
Got
Okay?
it. Okay.
Bhavatyaha avasarah. Oh,
Okay.
no. No clues.
Really, this is
Sorry.
you want to give me this and use
Bhagini,
up your 30 minutes of your time?
Bhagini, we only have got 10 more minutes, Bhagini.
I
Go
know.
ahead. Go.
Okay, go ahead, do it. As the remembering of the information is done by the teacher.
Kshamedama, because when I'm trying to translate it verbatim, it is looking very funny. But I assume you understand what I'm trying to say
As
here.
the remembering of the information is done by the teacher, the lesson was taught by him.
What
As
is the
a
prayoga of this sentence? Kartari prayogah va or karmani prayogah va?
Karmani.
Karmani.
By the teacher. Yeah.
Because it is karmani, the translation looks funny. It is not in English, so it is funny.
Adhyapakena.
So the entire thing is in karmani. The first part is also in karmani, the second part is also in karmani. Okay.
And it's the same karta.
So how many actions are there?
Then we just have to do shanach right here.
So remembering action done by the teacher.
Yeah, and
teaching action is that is also done by the same person. So same karta, two different action. Is one action indicating the time of the other?
As he is remembering, the teacher is teaching. Yeah, so it's not depending on time or anything, right?
No. So when did the teacher taught the lesson?
He taught the lesson when he was remembering the information.
So if you get the answer to the when question, it means the first thing is indicating the time of the next.
So it will be
when he remembered it, he was teaching.
Correct.
Okay. So as soon as time factor is involved, one kriya is indicating the time of the second, it is Sati Saptami. If the two kriyas are done by... No, it's not Sati Saptami. Yeah. Although one kriya is indicating the other here, but it is two different actions done by the same person.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, now you translate.
Yeah, there's no Sati here.
No, there's no Sati Saptami. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
These ticks you have to check all these boxes to fall into Sati Saptami. Two different actions.
I mean, I'm very clear. There has to be two people. Two people different actions. And one is depend on the other.
One action is telling the time of the other. Here it ticked the box of the time. It ticked the box of the two different action, but the karta is the same, so we are not going to use Sati Saptami.
Right.
Super, right. Now we understood. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Chalo, jaldi. Okay, the lesson was taught by him. Oh my God! As a remembering of the information done by the teacher, Adhyapakena. Remembering is smaranti, smariyan.
Smardatu.
Smar, right? So
smaryate iti.
Smaryate is Atmanepadi. So
actually, smarati. Okay, but your sentence is in karmani. So what is the karmani roopam of smarati?
Smaryate.
So if it is karmani, what is the kridanta roopam you will use? If it is karmani.
Pratyaya.
No. I'm trying to ask the pratyaya. If it is karmani, it has to always be shanach.
Okay. Yeah. Shanach. Yeah.
Karmani is shanach. So your sentence is in karmani, so it has to be shanach.
Shanach. Yeah. So
where are we?
Smaryamana. Smaryamana, is that the shanach to remember?
Kshametam Bhagini. I was going to scroll and I didn't scroll this. Shanach pratyaya for karmani. Okay.
Correct.
Here. Yeah. So where are we? Yeah, here. Correct. You are right.
Smaryamana. Manaha. So information is Visheshama. Visheshya.
Bagini,
Vishesh.
wait. One step at a time. First,
Uh,
translate the second bit, which is easy. The
the
lesson was
lesson.
by him.
अध्यापकः पाठं पाठयति.
The lesson was taught by him.
Was अपाठयत्.
No,
अपाठयत.
wait. The lesson was taught by him is in Karmani. Say a sentence in Karmani.
Oh, Karmani. Okay. तेन.
Tena.
पाठः अपाठयत. Right? No. Yeah.
Apatyata.
Apatyata. Yeah. Okay. That's done. See, I made you happy, right? I used apatyata.
Bagini. Actually, when I wrote the answer to this, I didn't write it like that. But now I corrected myself. Yes. Apatyata.
Apatyata kalu.
Spelling mistake. Apatyata. Kshamita.
Atava patitah.
Apatyata. No, apatyata. Tada apatyata.
Ta pratyaya.
Yeah, patitah, ta pratyaya is also correct. Apatyata or patitah.
Okay. So
okay, now
part. अध्यापकेन स्मर्यमानः अध्यापकेन स्मर्यमानेन अध्यापकेन.
Wait. The information was remembered by the teacher. So adhyapakena information would be
Vishayah.
Now you do it.
Then Smaryamanena it will be, right? It will go with the Adhyapakena, right? Vishaya.
Correct.
Smaryamanena.
So Vishayah Smaryamanena Adhyapakena.
Pataha Apathyata.
Apathyata or Pathitah.
Yeah, beautiful sentence. Yes. It's nice. Yeah.
Right here.
Dhanyavada Bhagini.
Patyata, not a Patyata.
Akila Bhagini would have done it in 3 seconds.
No, that is not important, Bhagini.
You did it step by step.
Bhagini, time is not important, Bhagini. As long as we are understanding the concept, we can work in our own pace. That is, it is not important. So don't worry about, don't be overwhelmed by if we are going a bit ahead of you.
No.
Stop us and...
I take the liberty of stopping you guys.
You please stop me, okay? Only then new doubts will come, yeah?
Absolutely, no problem.
Yes. Super. Next, Akila Bhagini.
When the baby had a bad dream, a loud scream was heard.
Nice.
This is a good one for you, Bhagini. I said had because in English, okay? Let's use saw. Okay? I will ignore that. Yeah.
So, saw iti ekaha karmaha, hearing was another karmaha.
Uttamam.
So, both different.
The karta or the doer of this action.
The karta is different. No.
How?
No, same.
Same.
No.
And the second karta is not nischitam.
Second
was heard by someone.
The prayoga of both sentence. What kartari or karmani sentence?
A loud scream was heard. So karmani.
Uttamam. This is in karmani.
The baby saw a dream is kartari.
So kartari. So the karta is the baby. Because it is karmani, a loud scream was heard by anybody.
Anyone. Can be anyone.
So we don't know the karta. So it is a different karta, obviously, not the baby. Okay.
And one indicates another time.
And again, if you understand the context of the sentence, when the baby had a bad dream, it would have been the baby who would have screamed. So the scream was heard by the mother or somebody else. Okay, that could have been the context of the sentence. So obviously, it might be the baby who would have screamed. So the screaming action might have been done by the baby. But because this is a karmani vakyam, the ashraya of the screaming, the hearing, it's not the screaming, it's a hearing action. The hearing action is not related to the baby, but by no, what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's break the sentence down. Then we will understand. Yeah. Okay. So now two different karta doing two different action, and is one indicating the other.
So Sati Saptami.
Sati Saptami. Uttamam. Go ahead.
A loud scream when the baby saw a bad dream. Yada shishuhu.
Yada shishuhu.
Yada shishuhu duswapnam drishtavan tada brihat shabdam va
drishtavan uchaihi kran. Okay, I took this from the book. It is there in the book. I will give you the answer here. Uchaihi krandanam shrutam. Krandanam is a scream. Screaming was heard. Shrutam is ta pratyaya, so it is in karmani. Uchaihi krandanam shrutam. Okay.
So tada uchaihi krandanam shrutam.
Tada. So how would we now change it? So this part is the indicator or the nyapaka kriya. So this part will be in Sati Saptami. So the drishtavan is the kriya padam. What is the ashraya of this drishtavan or the indicator of the drishtavan? Shishuhu and not durswapnam, because it is a kartari vakyam. So the shrutam, what is the ashraya of this shrutam?
Kena, someone, by someone.
No.
Krandanam, right?
Krandanam. Because krandanam is the word that decides what will be the linga vachana vibhakti of this shrutam. So this is the word pradhana word we are bothered about. Okay. Okay, the second part of the sentence, obviously, we are not going to change into Sati Saptami. But had this been the first sentence, Yada uchaihi krandanam shrutam, tada shishuhu durswapnam drishtavan. Had it been the other way around, then when we are changing into Sati Saptami, we have to change the krandanam and shrutam, both words, to Saptami form. Not, okay, Yada
krandane shrute.
If I say, Jananya. So had I said like this, Yada
Jananya uchaihi
Yada Jananya uchaihi krandanam shrutam tada shishuhu durswapnam drishtavan. Had I said this. Okay. Now when we change into Sati Saptami, which one is the nyapaka kriya? Which is the indicating action? Krandanam. This part is the indicating action. This is the one that decides what time the second part happened. So this is the part we have to change into Saptami. So what are the words that will go into Saptami?
Krandane shrute.
Shrutam will go into Saptami. The kriya padam. The kriya indicating the kridanta padam. And whatever is the important factor that it depends on will also go into Saptami. The only factor that it depends on is krandanam and not uchaihi or jananya. The vibhakti vachana of these two words does not decide the shrutam. So it will be jananya uchaihi krandane shrute.
Shishuhu duswapnam drishtavan.
So that is how we would translate the Sati Saptami.
Yeah, let's do the first one. The
first one. Let's finish this off. Yes. Yada shishuhu durswapnam drishtavan tada uchaihi krandanam shrutam. Now translate it.
Gurau duswapne drishtvati rasvadi drishtvati sati. Sati is an optional one. You need not do. But if we put a sati, then the sentence will be much more clearer than leaving it. Drishtvati sati. Uchaihi krandanam shrutam.
Uttamam. Swapna Bhagini, do you want to try the other one's translation? I told you the answer already, but do you want to try that? This one's.
Yeah, you've already done it. So.
Yeah, but give me the answer again.
Okay. Yada jananya uchaihi krandane shrute.
No, then yada will not come.
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't mean that. Jananya Uchaihi Krandane Shrute Sati Shishuhu Duswapnam Drishtavan.
उत्तमं भगिनि. श्रुते सति
Shishuhu Duswapnam.
दुःस्वप्नं दृष्टवान्.
Yeah.
Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, got it.
I have few more sentences. Shall we do it next week, or do you want to try it at home yourself?
Can do it at home also, so we can come prepared and use less time. Yes, right?
Okay. Okay. Now we will stop the recording then. Asked. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadaha.
धन्यवादाः.
So you'll send these sentences?